What's good, family? I was just thinking about this actually for the last few days. The value of men and how America society has really artificially diminished the value of men, while at the same time raising women's demands of what a man brings to the table. These same demands these are really highly delusional and delusional demands and are not reflected in your more regular countries. You know what I mean? These demands being he must be 6 feet tall. He must have a 6-inch wiener, 6-pack, and 6 figures. Six, right? These demands, this is what you have when you have a society created by simp men that allows women to be ultra comfortable, that allows women to basically be on a 1 to 10 scale. She can literally be a 2 or 3 and have multiple dudes who are simping on her, cashing her out, paying some of her bills, and running behind her nose wide open with dollar bills in hand. This is really what I call the Ameriverse. It's the Twilight Zone. And in this kind of a artificial, socially controlled and constructed and engineered society, this is where the highest rate of thoughtism, 304ism, and delusion, women are comfortable because men have made it super comfortable for them in this place. And I was thinking about the value of a man and stuff, and I heard one of the most delusional, out of their mind, insane, most ridiculous. This was one of the most ridiculous. I recently did the video about women in SHTF, the apocalypse, collapse of America. And in that video, I mean, it's clearly, it's clear women without an artificial government constructed system are pretty much at the whims of the men. And even right now, they have the police structure in place. They have the governmental structure where, she can just call 911, or she can just call and put charges on them, or she can just call and basically put child support charges or alimony charges or false grape charges or harassment charges. She has a system created by men, enforced by men, and she can sit from this elevated position that simp men have put her in and claim strength and independence, and that she don't need no man. And I started thinking, one of the most delusional statements that I ever recall hearing is from this chick. I think it was on a Fresh and Fit podcast, and she was talking about one of the hosts said that during an apocalypse, women gonna need men, And so I was like, this chick said one of the most delusional statements, and here it is. She said, no, basically she was like, during the apocalypse, she ain't gonna need no man. This is not well thought out, man. She said during the apocalypse. Most women would say during the apocalypse, they're like, yeah, we probably gonna need a man, yeah. But then you also look at that TV episode, Bear Grylls, when they did that social study called Bear Grylls, Women and Men, something like that. Women and men on an island. You had these two groups of people on the island, the women on one side, the men on the other side. I think it was Survivor, too. I watched a piece of that episode. The women were complaining. They couldn't even keep a fire going at nighttime. They were freezing and cold. And no, we're cold, we're damp. Chicks' fingers all wrinkled up from being exposed to the water and cold at night. You got the dudes over there on their side of the island. Fire going, they're collecting rainwater or whatever, and they're surviving, Survivor. I think that particular episode was Survivor. Well, I think the Bear Grylls joint was a longer. I just watched like a piece of the Survivor thing. And so the women were like, in the morning, the women are strong, independent, boss babes, highly educated, whatever, high income. Now they're over there traipsing. Their fire is put out, and and the dudes are over there chilling, toasty by the fire. In the morning, the women freezing, wrinkled fingers. Can we come to warm ourselves by your fire? Yeah, the simp dude. Sure, you can come by our warm yourself by our fire. We gotta help them, man. Simp dude. And the reality is that that's a simulated kind of end of the road apocalypse, SHTF stuff hit the fan scenario. And for this stuff, when I look at this stuff, I'm like, women generally know. Maybe they don't. Maybe the American woman is so delusional she believes that she don't need a man ever. But again, this is a woman who don't even live in hardship. This is a woman who literally, if she structures her life, if she gonna be the boss babe and simp extracting resources from simp, she literally don't gotta do nothing if she. But really, man, see, this is the thing with women. They got all this access to men, and men are resources. And their resources. They have all this access to these dudes. But because they're always in a seat of overabundance, the thought of lack and loss never comes to their head. Because think about it, if a woman is an average looking, we're talking about America. I ain't talking about other countries. I ain't talking about Brazil where women got to compete. I ain't talking about Colombia where women got to compete. I ain't talking about Eastern Europe where women got to compete. I ain't talking about, Philippines where women have to compete and they live more in a sane country. I ain't talking about, Tanzania and Kenya. Women have to compete for men. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the Ameriverse called America, in the Twilight Zone where women don't have to compete. They could be but way below average. I just posted on the community section 2 sets of videos with Maury Povich. I might do some more binge watching on Maury Povich, man. Freaking, You Are Not the Fathers. I don't watch the ones. I don't watch the whole show where I'm like, will he be the father? Will he not be the father? I feel devastated for these dudes when they are the fathers. I'm like, oh boy. This is going to be dramatic for this guy. I don't care what race the guy is. I don't want him to lose, you know what I mean? So I just watch the ones that you are not the father. I already know the end from the beginning, but still the drama of it is still funny. You have chicks on there who, there's one fat beast, pig, hog chick, and she had 3 dudes that could be the father of her child, you know what I mean? That means that within a period of time, it was a week, 5 days throughout the month or something, a woman can actually literally get pregnant or something like that while she's ovulating. So during that 5-day or 1 week period of time, she's been, this pig's been stuffed, right? Stuffed pig, right? Have been stuffed with 3 different dudes at least that she bringing on the show. And then but then you got dudes who are regular good-looking dudes or whatever, can't even give one decent female to simp on them in this society. But then you got this big woman who is got 3. Was it 3? 1 or 2. I'm trying to remember the thing about the other episode. Maybe it was 3. But on one episode, you had this skinny, decent-looking chick, but she was a bar-hopping chick with a whole, but she had 2 simps crying over her. What I'm saying is this. And also the big chick. She got a couple dudes. It's like, man, these women, even if they big, if they skinny, they don't, it's all relative to their current attractiveness level or whatever, but they don't have to live in a state of difficulty. Their difficulty in this place is self-inflicted gunshot wounds. They live difficulty because they don't have the mind to structure their life. They don't, like a man, we can go from high to like, dang, I'm gonna have to suffer for a while. I lost my job or I lost, a certain income. Like, dang, man, I'm gonna have to suffer for a minute. This is gonna suck. I have to calculate this and I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna eat beans and rice for about, this amount of time. Like, dang, this is gonna suck. I might, have to go to a food pantry, you know what I mean? I might have to, just really cheap it down. You know what I mean? Women don't really like suffering. And in America, so to suffer a lot of times is reality. The realities of life, man. You might lose your business or you might get divorced. You understand me? And you go through difficulties and hardships. A man go through suffering. Some dudes can't bear it and stuff. Some self-delete, some mass delete other people. And some just bear and grunting, and some of them turn to alcoholism to deal with the pain of living in real life and dealing with real life situations, right? Loss, lack, difficulties. Such is the path of man. You know, many men, even wealthy and rich, have come through these horrible ebbs and flows and turbulence of life. You know what I mean? To become something. If they weren't like, if they weren't like Donald Trump, who was born into hundreds of millions of dollars, like, I'm not just saying him, but some people were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. But a dude had to build something. He has to go through a period of time of grinding and losing and life sucking. And he has to, a lot of times, eat ramen noodles and cheap stuff. They ain't necessarily the most healthy, But men in general know that, dang, I'm fat, I need to lose weight. Or dang, I'm broke, I need to bear and grunt it for a while and just be cheap. Or dang, well, I lost my apartment, I have to downgrade, maybe live in a freaking room or something for like, a few months or something. Dang, I might have to live back with my parents for a few months or something. Men don't like it because nobody likes it, right? Nobody likes the difficulty and uncomfortable state of losing for a period of time. But we know in general, like, you know what? I got to do what I got to do. It might suck for a while, and we have to live. What I'm saying generally, brothers, and you know this, and brothers hit me on the comments, man, it was like, basically, he's been through the turbulence. A lot of men, we understand the struggle, we understand turbulence, and we understand life is going to suck. And in general, we understand that ain't nobody, especially black men, nobody cares about us in this place. You understand me? You got to suffer alone, and your friends might be banging your woman or your ex or whatever. You know what I mean? And a lot of ruin that comes to men's lives is through the woman that once he called his. You know what I mean? So, and friends that he once called his. So men understand struggle and misery, lack and loss, because we don't have a safety net system set up where we have a bunch of female simps coming to cushion the blow of our fall. You see what I mean? And that's what women always have in this place. See, in like, say, other countries or stuff, the broad got to compete. She got to ain't no governmental safety net. She got to compete. She got to stay in shape. She got to be on this cooking, cleaning, regular female stuff. This is a natural order. Women supposed to be in shape, supposed to be able to cook and clean, supposed to do feminine. It's called being feminine. Supposed to be rearing children and supposed to be freaking helpful. Supposed to be obedient. That's baseline. But in this culture of America, women don't have to compete. They don't have to be in shape, and they don't know nothing about struggle. Such as what it say in Revelations, talk about, I shall know no evil or something similar like that. You know what I mean? Talking about Babylon America itself, but also that's the attitude of women of Babylon America, the mirror verse. You know what I mean? They don't know no evil. They don't know no difficulty. They don't know no struggle. Like I said, they struggle is because if they do struggle, it's not because of lack of opportunity. It's because of lack of the management of the abundance of opportunities. Microphone. They struggle. It's self-inflicted gunshot wounds. They struggle is because, look at it as it relates to men. You got an average or below average female. She got multiple simp dudes. Some of them, some broke in and out of jail, Pookie, Ray, Brad, and Chad, sure. Yes, but a lot of them is regular square dudes, because in this society, men are broken down and served to the females. You understand me? They broken down by their mama. They broken down by society, the movies. A lot of these men are just so mentally conditioned to be abused. Like on that one Maury Povich video I posted in the community section. You had this chick. I think it was a second video. in the same post though. He had the skinny chick. She was good, decent looking, about 4 or 5. She was average looking white broad, as I remember. But she had two emotional simps literally crying that they were not the baby father. And they're hugging her and hugging each other. Oh my gosh. And I clasp my head. I'm like pulling my hair out if I had hair. Ain't got no hair, so I clasp my head. I'm like, oh my God. If I had hair, I pulled my hair, right? But I shaved. And by the way, man, I'm trying to find a better way to shave so I don't get a razor burn. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna start using a 1-blade razor. But anyways, I ain't got nothing to do with it. But my point is this: if y'all know of a good, decent shave gel or shave razor, that don't, I know everybody's skin is different and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna have to. I want some cheap, Anyways, I don't want to lose my point. But yeah, these two dudes are cuckolding and crying and menstruating that they were not chosen. They were not the baby's daddy. I'm still gonna be in the kid's, the child's life. Crying, literally crying, because they weren't the father of this bar slut's child. And then guess what? Who the kid was? It was a dude who she had a kid with previously, who she actually liked. You could tell by how her eyes light up and stuff. Then the other episode, the whale, the big hog. You understand me? It's beyond. See, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is okay. Cause I think I might watch some more of the Maury's, man. The mugs be funny, bro. Maury Povich. But women in this society. So the chick said, see what I'm saying. My point is this, man. Women in America don't know nothing really about suffering. You know what I mean? They suffering is that they can't get the man that they actually pursuing. Right? You got this dude over here. Imagine you got a guy over here to the left, and she's chasing him, and then behind her, it's a group of orbiting male simps chasing her with nose wide open and $100 bills in hand that will worship this woman. So she following after and searching after dude over here. She's pursuing him and they're pursuing her to worship her and simp on her. She'll take the money from these simps and give it to him. That's how it works, man. That's why I don't pay to be you don't pay to be pursuing women at all, in my opinion. I look at myself, this is another perspective that I think men need to have, especially going into what we're going into. Man, I got a few things I want to cover, but I look at myself as a gold nugget. You know what I'm saying? I look at myself as a gold nugget, you know what I mean, in the dirt society of America, because gold is hidden, right? People pursue gold. People look for gold. You know what I mean? My gold, it ain't about my looks. I'm above average in looks and all that, but it ain't much about, it's a combination of things, but more so because I know the truth. Loving kindness, judgment, righteousness. I know the scriptures. I know what's going to happen. Not absolutely step by step, but I know in general we in a time of the dollar collapse. We're in a time when the dollar going to be worthless. You know what I mean? I know different things about what's coming. This makes me extremely powerful because I started speaking about gold. So what I'm saying, my point is that gold does not pursue anybody. Gold is pursued. You know what I mean? And even if these women were even look at this. These women in different countries have to pursue what can be considered regular dudes in their own countries. They pursuing relationships. I done seen Filipino chicks with like really baseline looking dudes, bro. He ain't 6 figures. He ain't 6 feet tall. You know what I mean? He ain't super ultra built, but she pursuing this dude, getting played. Dude got multiple good looking 6s and 7s. You know what I mean? Chicks that are 6, 7s, and 8s. International 6, 7s, and 8, not American. And this dude play her, drop her, get to the next one. Or have multiple good looking chicks. Average and beneath the looking average dude with multiple choices in his country. So a lot of these foreign dudes are cleaning up, man. Because they just in a construct that is more based on reality You know what I mean? Where women gotta compete and be on their best behavior, man. Eastern European chicks, man, these dudes ain't super rich, bro. Man, Eastern Europe, man, a lot of these dudes, bro. You know what I mean? A lot of them, And so I look at these dynamics, I'm like, man, these dudes are treated way better than dudes in the Philippines, dudes in Thailand and stuff. Dudes is treated way better like they gold, and they don't even have to be extra super dude. He ain't gotta be 6 feet. He ain't gotta be 6 feet tall. He got 6 in winter. He ain't gotta have a 6-pack. He ain't got no swag. He ain't got all this bull crap. I know there's variables in this. I understand that, but geez Louise, man, a regular dude get a good-looking or above-average chick in his own country. Here in America, you got dudes who are decent-looking and stuff. They're hog hunting, man, and chasing after whales, man, and crying because they can't be the babies. They're competing to be a provider for a single mother slut chick, man, bar chick, man, in America. That's the dynamic of, like, it's when you look at you have men have to look at reality, man. And women don't have to look at reality in this place. Women don't have to look at the reality of being uncomfortable because they never actually have to be uncomfortable. If they're uncomfortable because they have no knowledge about what they're supposed to be doing and either don't want to receive guidance or they don't heed to good guidance. You know what I mean? A woman, cook, clean, shut up, do what you're supposed to do, and look good and support your man in his endeavors. That's your job for life. Do that and you'll be straight. Yeah, you're going to have difficulties. You ain't going to like it sometimes. And you're going to want to leave because you live in a society called America, which promotes women to leave and make it easy for her to leave and jump on a carousel and finances her leaving the dude and stripping him of half his resources and getting a perpetual money income stream called child support and alimony. Break them. The government finances her breaking up with her dude, collecting resources perpetually. Wash, rinse, and repeat, and the government will be there to finance that too. So women in America that actually try to be good, it's difficult actually if you literally look at it. If a woman trying to be a decent, clean woman is actually, it's not socially constructed for her to be a decent woman. America is socially constructed for her to be a monkey branching, spoiled brat 304, jumping from guy to guy to guy and collecting resources. That's what this culture legally finances her to do. So in this setup, she never has to look in the mirror. Because the pain of looking in the mirror, all she got to do is, look in the mirror. That's something she ain't got to do. But see, the SHTF, she ain't got to look in the mirror because all of her friends, sisters, cousins, aunties, and stuff is all monkey branching 304s, and they all co-sign each other. Misery loves company. Then number 2, you have a bunch of simps running after her and giving her all this validation and attention. So the mirror is never really, the only time she kind of maybe look in the mirror is like at nighttime when she alone sleeping, which a lot of them don't like sleeping. Cause that's why they take a lot of these meds and stuff to keep them, balanced, so-called balance. And basically, how are you suffering depression because you live in the life of prostitutes? And prostitutes are routinely depressed. Strippers, you know what I mean? They depressed because they demoralize themselves. They sell their body for a price. And that's what a lot of American women do. They go down the path of, 304ing, and they increase the hole that's within themselves. So they can't look at themselves at night. If she has, problem sleeping, just call a simp. Tell her, or just take some pill. But see, what I'm saying is this. The whole concept... But yeah, that's how I look at myself as gold, because I know the truth. I understand that when this stuff occurs, man. See, dang, bro. When I look at this, I'm like, all right. I'm thinking about gold. Speaking of gold, I want to get my money up, get more gold and all that stuff, more silver, especially, and all this stuff. However, I'm going to say, in addition to that, getting money, yes, is great. But I would start thinking about women don't really conceptualize difficulty in regular life because they really generally don't have to experience it and the pain and the misery of it. Because there's always comforters. There's always female companions to co-sign their 304 thought behavior. There's always simps coming along with dollar bills and attention and validation. Where is the difficulty? You know what I mean? The difficulty is if she actually want to be a decent woman and stick with her man, then she got all these people pulling at her. But she need a support system of other similar sisters, and then she'd be more cool. But so she does sit as a queen in America. She does sit as a goddess. She got a bunch of simp following worshipers. So in those terms, she is a quote god. She's a power over these specific simp dudes. So and she can use the system as a god too. So she got a lot of leverage and power in this society. So listen to this idiot talking about on Fresh and Fit. She talking about during the apocalypse, she will during SHTF, she ain't gonna need a man near in apocalypse either. I don't need a man now. No, I ain't need a man. This is a type of chick be on OnlyFans collecting money. Type of chick got Instagram and CashApp collecting money from simps, and got a bunch of male orbiters who will be there. All like you exist because men allow you to exist. You will exist in ultra comfort because there's a bunch of men comforting you. And the same person talking about she's not going to need a man is comforted, supported, and protected now by a bunch of different dudes. She has, not just her, not speaking really specific only about her, but this is the dumbest comment that I ever remember ever hearing. Delusional. Like, dude, you have no concept of what SHTF is, whether it's a zombie apocalypse or the dollar collapse or any combination. This is a woman don't even think about that stuff. Women don't think about difficulty. Because they all remember, bro, they'll never have to really look in the mirror because all they got to do is just sit here and look at what's good right now. It's all good. Only when she see it smacked in the face with reality, which she never has to be, but in the collapse, you're going to be. Only then will she be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I need a man. So now I started thinking about the value of men will be super raised multiple times during the collapse. And here's what I was thinking. Like I said, me personally, I already believe I'm gold. I got the knowledge. I got the understanding. You know, it's crazy. I've been on these binge of watching zombie movies. You know, World War Z, The Dead Don't Die. What else I watch? I don't know. I've been on that, man. I might watch I Am Legend, man. But if you look at it, man, I'm like, man, what combination of things will this be, man? You know what I mean? My point is like, I'm thinking ahead. And now I'm thinking ahead, knowing that it's going to be some kind of, whether it's a Russia with the NUKE, or a dollar collapse when the BRICS bring on their new currency, and or an internal, civil war, because people, tired of how America being ran. The citizens of America are tired, similar to that movie Bushwick, and or attacks by illegal, immigrants. Not, like the Arab, they known for what, strapping a device to them and all of it, they, what I mean, what I'm saying, what I'm saying, you know what I mean. So many of them probably done came on the board. I was talking to this military dude. He was like, yeah, I don't have no doubt at all that all these people coming over the border, and the white dude, all the dudes coming. He was cool, dude. I don't really like him, but certain things he cool, but then he's a slime ball. This specific dude, I'm like, I know his personality, but my point is, so I respect him so far as being honest about certain things, so far as like how the government ran, stuff like that. And a lot of these people are really pissed off, even with the regular Hispanics coming over, like they always came over. I don't believe that they the terrorists, you know what I mean? But I believe, well, some of them might be, but what I'm saying is that there are a lot of the Arab, extremists, right? You can't tell the difference a lot of time how they look. They both brown skin and kind of got same. So you can't just let all, so my point is he was complaining that they just letting all of them in. And I don't have any doubt that it's going to be, some cells, terror cells and stuff coming in. And this is a dude that was served in the military, I think it was Vietnam or whatever. So, and I was like, well, he understands America do all this different stuff around the world to different people. And yeah, eventually, according to him, he was like, yeah, they're going, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt if they're going to do some attacks. So you have all these variables So I'm looking ahead as to the possibilities. And I'm like, well, this is a reality. If the reality, yeah, you could get these. Oh, so now this is the other point I was thinking. Yes, get the fake money, transfer it into gold, silver, so you have a bag with you. You know what I mean? But this, and I was thinking about this. If you have I was watching World War Z. You had a situation in the other movie, Bushwick. Might hit that up again. But in both of these situations, you had an instantaneous switch in other words, everything went from everything is everything, regular daily, let's go grab a cup of coffee at Starbucks kind of thing, to like, right? All of a sudden, bombs start exploding. World War Z, dude was taking his kid to, wherever they was going, and all of a sudden, COVID, zombies out of nowhere just started, manifesting, with 5G, So now they was, all of a sudden, their day got ruined. You see what I mean? So this is my point here. You grab your resources, grab your money and all that, but what if you're going about your regular day and then all of a sudden something start happening? That's where my mind is, that at any moment, I'm not like, 5-10 years down the line and I'm going to do it. No, I'm about getting your money, making resources, boom, boom, boom. That's cool. Acquire this, acquire that, position yourself, boom, boom, boom. But you got to be like water in a river where you are able to adjust to whatever happens. I don't think we like years and years in America going to continue to go on as is. This is, I just thought about this is election year, Purge election year. Wow. The movie The Purge, remember that? This is actually another election year with all the turbulence going on with Trump, and people actually think that Trump was a real president, and they did the okie doke by getting Biden in there, and people are very, very, very pissed off about that. To the point even where citizens, what was it, John? I forgot what, citizens, I forgot what date that was, but, a few years ago when the citizens of America, armed citizens, stormed the Capitol, people forget about that as a rebellion against the government. I was talking to a military dude about that too. And he was like, yeah, they were it's not right what they did. And Trump's, in my opinion, he's and they didn't need a real president. They didn't really count the thing, the ballots properly. And Biden's clearly not the president, but he's a false president, so Americans, like, they tired of their lies, man. Especially the white American man. He get down with the get down, He amassed, come on, man, look at the track record, bruh. You disturbing his reign. You disturbing his ability to live comfortably. He can't even live comfortably in his own society because his woman running him. His woman taking half of 50% of everything he ever earned. His woman taking the kids and having them around another dude. This woman, divorcing him and taking 50% of his future earnings, with his retirement account. The white man tired, the situation going on in this society that he allowed to happen, that he set up for the women. Now he's complaining. Nevertheless, this is where we at. My point is this. At that moment, when you have, like in these movies in the beginning, everything was everything and calm, and then all of a sudden it happened. Whatever the it was. Whether, it was a EMP. I forgot about that. So many variables. And I'm not stressing and worried about it. I'm kind of, I have accepted that I might still be here in a stupid country when it happens, because literally it can happen any moment. But I'm still, I'm working both angles. Most I will, I get out of the stupid country. And if not, I got a certain amount of food, weapons. And I'm kind of practicing what I preach, having a mentality of flowing, man. If I'm walking down the street and, doing my jog, and all of a sudden, we in it, guess what? We in it. Got a plan for that, protect myself. Overall, I'm in the hands of the Most High. Peace, man. I got a lot of peace, man. I got a peace with the understanding that this can happen at any moment. And you mean to tell me, I view myself as a forward-thinking brother, relatively intelligent, relatively decent looking at all of this, and, relatively masculine. And I'm looking kind of like at this thing, strategy, like Floyd Mayweather, RK punch, whatever punch I'm trying to counter punch. And I'm looking at this broad who was talking about during the apocalypse, SHTF, she ain't gonna need no man. I'm like, wow, you don't have any, you don't even understand the possibility. I ain't saying it's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm saying, how do you know? Right? With all these things going on, the war, like as a side note, when you look at the war in Israel by the Jewish people, Israeli people, with how they went and mass slaughtered all these people. You understand me? Mass slaughtered women and children. According to like different even Western countries are saying, oh yeah, they're hypocritical too, but they're saying, oh, they're openly saying that the Israeli and the Jewish people are mass deleting women and children. That's what the different Western countries are saying, not me. I'm just reading the articles. So what I'm saying is, what happened over there? What was it? October, when the Hamas and all that went and did this mass attack. What happened to the strong, independent women? Well, they were slaves, and they were captives, and I think they still got like hundreds of Israeli hostages and stuff like that. Where's a strong, independent boss babe? Y'all see what I mean? That's when a woman say that during the apocalypse that she gonna be good, you gotta look at what happened previously to women during Hurricane Katrina or different even this new event, October, with the Jewish people in Israel. Like, look what happened. Like, we're all the strong boss babes. We're all this, this bravado. And they always toxic masculinity. No, what they did is toxic masculinity. They slaughtered all these, that's war, right? So, but she gonna need a masculine man to protect her while other toxic masculine dudes is out here doing what they breaking in houses, raping women, killing and eating people. You gotta think about all that, like the Road movie, bro, Cannibal. Yeah, like, the woman is sitting at the seat of never having, and this is a decent looking chick, I believe, as I recall. She ain't never had no, do you live in America, bro? Like, dude, you don't have a concept of the reality of, you don't have no concept of reality, period. Neither do you really have a concept of difficulty. And what America ain't even really been touched internally by war. Who has attacked America? Only thing America had is the Civil War, which is what, North versus South. Right? Like, what country has really actually literally attacked America? Don't tell me September 11th. Many say that's an inside job. You understand me? But I'm talking about war. What country? So America is never have been touched. You see what I mean? And many of the women have the similar mentality, never have been touched by difficulty. So these women don't have a concept of where, no SHTF. So I understand that she just speaking with false bravado, right? That's something I was thinking about. But anyways, back to my main point of this, I was thinking about during the time of that initial, whatever it is, like, you're in it. Your mind, that's what the scriptures say, that a man he gonna make a man more precious than fine gold. It also says that many men ain't gonna be, the cities ain't gonna have many men because men gonna be fighting each other for resource. When the collapse occurs, it's going to be man versus man. Men who just trying to eke out a living and survive and just, not mess with nobody. But, hey, people going to be like, yo, I want what you got in your house. Or I want your kids, your daughter, your wife. Then you going to let them have, no, you got to defend yourself. So you might be forced to do things that you would not rather do because you more of a dude, you want peace. But in order to keep your peace, you got to get rid of toxic masculine dudes, who trying to take what, you're a positive masculine dude. So you trying to, hey, you got to do what you got to do. Men understand war. This chick's talking out the side of her neck. She don't know nothing about war and difficulty, suffering. You understand me? She don't know these things. What strategy? She sit there, look good. Simps come with dollar bills, give her attention, co-signed by structure, co-signed by the system. Like, you sitting there and you just get served by simps. You get worshipped by, like, dude, these women have no concept of what's coming. So during the initial blast, during that period of time, he's six figures, that ain't gonna mean nothing. How much money he got, they ain't gonna mean nothing. How tall is, ain't gonna mean nothing. How big his wiener, ain't gonna mean nothing. Do we got a six pack, they ain't gonna mean nothing. All this bull crap that's been set up by American society to hold these hoes up, they ain't gonna mean nothing. So in that kind of such a scenario where it's mano y mano survive, we talking about real apocalypse, things blowing up, zombies maybe, dudes breaking in houses, this kind of situation, men gonna be afraid. Many men, and you know what I mean? You know, like, hey, who experiences this on a regular basis, right? Nobody. So it's gonna, you know, let alone women. I'm not gonna need a man during, like, come on, bro. During apocalypse, bro. Complete delusion, bro. So many men gonna be dead. And then a man who understand what's going on, a man who understand, all right, I need to do this. Okay, they doing this. Let me move this way. Oh, okay, that happened. All right, I got to go this way. All right, this is the next step. And okay, yeah, we got to EM people out. Okay, we got to do it. We got to plan. See, this type of man, see, a lot of us brothers are like that. But it also said, what's that scripture that say that then the truth that has been so long without fruit, you know what I mean? I forgot the rest of it. But then it shall flourish, basically, the truth. You know what I mean? Men that have the truth is going to flourish in times of adversity, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you can even look at it like this right here. A seed that's in the ground ain't going to germinate until water hit the seed. So similarly, it's kind of like a seed that's in the ground that has been, imagine a seed that's in the ground has been a drought and ain't no moisture and stuff. And look at the water as turbulence and adversity, right? So when the flood of water and turbulence and difficulties and adversity come in and on other people, they're going to be really, you know, overwhelmed. But when, you know, seed, you know what I mean? Men, you know, seed kind of represent a man, kind of like a lot of us men, we you know, high value, I hate that term, high value. The most high is highest value. We're gold. You know what I mean? So the seed that's in us is going to be allowed to blossom once the adversity comes, adversity relative to the water. You know what I mean? When the floods is going to germinate the seed that's in us, you know what I mean, to be what we were meant to be, which is to elevate in the times of difficulty. See what I mean? So I look at myself as already having what's in me to, I'm already great. I'm already gold. You know what I mean? But the truth that's in us, a lot of times is not recognized and not important because you live in a mirrorverse. You live in a Babylon, you live in America, a place where stupidity is elevated. Dumb hoes twerking is elevated. People doing stupid challenges is elevated. Women doing things to cucumbers is elevated. Stupid videos and of animals and cats is elevated. Knowledge and wisdom, man, nobody care about that, man. But at the moment of the difficulty and adversity of the water, represented by water coming in, flooding, is going to germinate the seed and wash away a lot of irrelevance, and then what's going to be relevant is survival. And those who have the Most High's favor and understanding, wisdom, and knowledge about, what does it say? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and strength, salvation. So what I'm saying, when I look at this, so at that moment, yes, gold ain't really going to matter when you got bodies drop. That's your gold, silver, and all that will be more so valuable after, you understand me? But you can use it also, you know, maybe get to another culture if you got the time. You know, we don't know when the dollar going to collapse and when it's going to be devalued. We know it is, but we don't know when. So, but a woman ain't thinking about this. A comfortable, pampered, American babe, boss babe broad is not thinking about these things. So when this happens, she going to be stripped out of her life of ease. Dude, man, these women can't even imagine. I can't imagine living a life on complete easy mode. Like I've had some easy stints, periods. But I ain't never had a bunch of good-looking simps, females, hit me up, breaking me off, some bread, you know, some sex. I had like one or two, but I ain't never had like these chicks have in the reverse, you know what I mean? They got like a bunch of simps hitting them up, right? Like a bunch of orbiting simp dudes. If they look like anything, they got quite a few. So these women live on life on complete easy mode. And I say a woman in a different country that looked way better than her, with the skills, her MRS degree, cooking, cleaning, feminine, all that stuff, and in shape. She don't even get approached by different dudes to nowhere near the level of American average and below average woman. So, and a lot of times women in other countries already dealt with difficulty and war and different things, especially in Eastern Europe. They more seasoned as to reality. But American woman is allowed to live in a comfortable place of delusion called the Ameriverse. So this is just some thoughts I was thinking about, man. I'm just, life is like a vapor, man. Life is like a vapor, and you don't know when it's going to be snuffed out. So it's like, why take so much thought for tomorrow? Because you don't know what's going to happen for tomorrow. But to live, be like, oh yeah, that's kind of like, you don't want to be too comfortable about tomorrow because your next breath ain't even promised. So these women like, oh yeah, during the SHTF, I'll be all right. Like, dude, yeah, that's that's ultra presumptuous considering what's happened even recently in their SHTF in Israel, with all these women being grabbed up and raped, and taken prison. That's SHTF, bro. That's war. And that's what's going to happen in America, war. And this chick is having a real lax attitude towards war when typically and historically women have been the booty or they have been, these conquering men took over, they took the women and seeded the women, and impregnated the women, or, in some cases cannibalized, But my point is, this is what has happened throughout history. But again, women who are living in a society who never have to look in the mirror, they don't have to look at history. They don't have to look at reality. They don't have to look at what's going on. Neither do they have to think too far ahead. Why? Because simps have always made them comfortable. The society makes them comfortable. And all of their co-signing sisters, cousins, aunties, and mothers, and, and society makes them comfortable. And they never have to look in the mirror. You know what I mean? Sure, we all got flaws, but they never have to look in the mirror. And I don't know, that was just one of the most delusional statements I ever heard, man. And I heard some doozies from these chicks. But when I think about like SHTF, I'm thinking about all these variables. My life, and I'm a decently strong dude, but my life ain't guaranteed. Man, look, I walk up and, I love to walk, man. I love to jog. I love to, go out in nature. But my head always on a swivel. I'm looking here, all right, what's going on? I don't underestimate nobody. And to have such a comfortable, lax attitude towards the apocalypse by a woman? Like, dude, man, do you know what they do to women during the apocalypse, during the adversity and war? You're like, this woman's completely delusional. Doesn't have to look in reality. That's just my thought, man. That just struck me. I was like, man, these women are so comfortable. But then I'm thinking, how many women think like her? Like some of the women on the Bear Grylls experiment and Survivor or whatever, they probably thought like her. Oh yeah, we'll be okay. Yeah, we're good. Women can defend themselves because we have a gun. You got a gun, but he got a gun, so y'all equal, right? I mean, what if your gun jam, or what if he present himself as what if he do the okie doke and present himself as women can be seduced by words and emotional triggers. What if he present himself as a friend or somebody, come on, I'll help you. Now you close quarter and you can't get your gun out. He within, arm's length. Now what you gonna do? As a man, I can fight for myself. I could fight. I fought many times. And I don't want to have interactions where I have to physically hurt somebody. But I know I can. Absolutely. But my point is that I keep my head on the swivel. I look left. Just pay attention to what's going on. And, but I don't know. That's my thought. Women during SHTF, strong, independent, boss babe mind state. Oh, really? But I really want to, during that time, what's going to matter, if it's like an initial blast, if it's a gradual thing, it's the same. Look at what's happening now, man. Look what's happening now with the Israeli thing, with the women being taken captive and all these, hostages that Hamas got and all this. Dude, with masculine force, you either gonna fight it back and take over them, or they're gonna take over you. There's too many of them, you might want to run. You know what I mean? If it's a well-coordinated attack, where you gonna run? Women have always been, captives. It ain't nothing no different now. It's just that, America ain't never really been in a war, and women have been placed in this high level of ultra comfortableness, if that's a word. Never having to really deal with difficulties, never have to look in the mirror, never having to compete with other women for men. They look at men as tampons that are to be used. They look at men as utilities that are to be discarded after they're done with them and picked up and toyed with and thrown away. So that's the mentality of a lot of these chicks. So during SHTF, I don't need a man. This is a woman sitting at the table that men built. This is a woman getting, streams of income from simps. Not her specifically, because just kind of, but it just triggered that I'm like, wow, man, you have no concept of what's coming. You have really no concept of the world as it is now. Neither do you have concept of what women historically went through during their SHTF experiences. And so, wow, how many women actually think like her? You see what I mean? So this is something I was thinking about, and this will bring on why Isaiah 4:1 and women having multiple women simping and running after men, because a lot of men go get slaughtered during war, and it's gonna be the men who ain't get slaughtered and who survived. Something about them is going to be a reason why they have survived. And women is survival leeches and parasites. Oh, hey, all that stuff, the high standard stuff, gonna go out the window. They don't care if he's 6 feet tall. He's living. He's alive. He's a man. Chick's gonna be looking for somebody that help them survive. You understand what I mean? Like that's why 7 women is gonna take hold of 1 man. You see what I mean? So all that stuff kind of come to play. I was just thinking about it, like the adversity, the waters of adversity will water the seeds, which are the men of knowledge. You see what I mean? It's kind of like that, it's kind of like even with the narrative of gold. The fire of adversity comes and melts the gold and makes it pure. So he's going to make his men more precious than fine gold. Like I said, I paralleled this because even at that moment, gold ain't going to mean that much initially. You see what I mean? If you got gold, you know what I mean? You could, after the initial, whatever this is, zombie attack or, EMP, whatever, after that, after the initial slaughter and people doing explosions, whatever period of time that people later on, then that's when, in my opinion, when gold gonna be more, you can barter with it or whatever. But I don't know, man. It's all kinds of scenarios. I just look at it like, be the best, get the most, do the best you can. You understand me? Anyways, hopefully this video has been empowering to you, brothers. Women, I don't need a man during the apocalypse. Oh, really? So the value of a man gonna be raised many, many times, because women, we talking about survival, bro. So that's something I've been thinking about, man. Maybe it's the reason I've been watching these zombie movies and stuff, man. I don't know, bro. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I'm not paranoid. We in the times. We gotta pay attention to the times we in, man. A lot of things going on. And I'm thinking like a woman is going to be really probably the least of a man's worry so far as acquisition of females. I think that adversity comes and her world is washed away. That's when she's going to be more social and trying to pick up lines at men. See what I mean? But really, that's the time we got to be like, blocking women. Like, I don't even know who you is. You got to pre-screen this broad. Who are you? Where are you coming from? Who are you? Where, who, you married? Where? You got to ask all these questions. I think the least of a man's problem is going to be the acquisition of females. But during this time, it would be thorough pre-screening of females. You see what I mean? Which would be pretty, I don't know. This is all our imagination at this point, right? But I would imagine that'd be kind of difficult more so now because, if things is broken down, you don't even know who this broad is. Chicks be lying. So you got to be real. I'm that way now. I don't let any woman into my freaking life. You know what I mean? I got to put her through some walls of acceptability walls. I got a lot of walls to protect me in my heart from these women now. You know what I mean? Let alone during the collapse when hoes is out here putting on great sales pitches, you know what I mean, to survive, you know what I mean? Like that chick, Booker Eli style. That chick with the sunglasses, help me, and all. Women be real flirtatious when it comes to survival. So, all kind of variables to think about. I don't want to keep this video much longer, but hopefully you guys have been extremely empowered by this video. I hope this has been extremely empowering to you. And if you appreciate the channel, go ahead and donate to the channel using the Cash App link in the description. I wish you brothers the most best. And yeah, I really hope that you use this video as a tool to empower yourself spiritually, mentally, and all this good stuff. Peace!